Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Industry Insider with TMR. I am so happy today to be joined by Heather Hendricks, the Senior Director of Sales for the East and South regions at ALG Vacations. Heather, thanks so much for jumping on here with me today.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
All right, so I know we're in July, which is might be one of the slower times of the years for advisors, and I wanted to ask you that during some of these slower times of the year, travel advisors might find themselves with some extra time on their hands. I'm curious what is one of the things they can do in order to improve their businesses going forward, whether it's learning or whether it's training or things like that. I'm curious from your point of view, what do the best advisors do when they are able to take advantage of some of these slower periods?
And I know it doesn't feel like you always have a slow time during in this industry, but there are times where we have a few moments or even just scheduling time for yourself. So you make it a focus and goal. But I think education is one of the most important things you can spend a little bit of time on. It doesn't have to be a full day course, but something I just took up recently is trying to relearn my Spanish on Duolingo. So, that's something I've wanted to do for myself personally. I took Spanish, but I should know it more considering the destinations that I travel to quite frequently. So it's a great time just to make yourself, shine up on some of your skills that you have, maybe brush up on things that you know, but it's good to kind of repolish. There's a lot of educational presentations that I've seen multiple times, but I always take away some sort of new nugget of information from those.
How is Duolingo going? Is that has that been productive, or that has that been useful for you? That platform? I'm curious.
Well, I've been in all of a week, so I'm pretty dedicated right now. But no, it's been good. I mean, it's a really great way to learn, and it's similar to what we try to do at ALG Vacations. We want to make learning fun. We want to make it interesting so that you're engaged, and I think Duolingo does a good job of that as well. So um, we'll see how it goes. I'm on a streak right now, so
Yeah, we'll check back in. We'll give you 6 months.
okay.
We'll check back in and see how it goes. I want to talk a little bit about travel advisor bookings, and I'm curious. This year, there's been a lot of conversations about which way bookings are trending. Things seem pretty positive right now. I'm curious from your point of view again, how are booking trends shifting? And then for the travel advisors, what skills or what knowledge has helped your best partners sort of stay ahead of where bookings are going?
Well, I think what we're seeing, first of all and foremost, is the booking trends are very different. And as we've gotten deeper into the year, we've seen the booking window shorten a little bit. We typically see, folks booking more than, 90 to 180 days out. And now we're seeing it within that 0 to 90 day time frame, which is great news for this year to get some business on the books. But we are starting to look towards 2026 as well. So it's been interesting to see that shorten. I think a little bit is to do with the climate of the economy and things going on in the world. But we are continuing to see where advisors shine in these areas too. Advisors really can bring their knowledge to the forefront and create curated experiences that the regular day-to-day consumer cannot create on their own. And again, a lot of that's backed up by the education advisors use and also the experience that they have.
At TMR, Heather, we do a lot of research about what is trending in the trade, specifically what niches are coming up, what niches are becoming more popular, which niches are becoming more profitable, what ones are becoming more popular, especially with consumers as well. I'm curious again, what are some of the faster growing or more profitable niches that your partners seem to be exploring right now?
Well, as it turns out, those who have the funds to do a little bit more luxury travel are still traveling really, really well. We're seeing those trends going through our booking period. Those are outperforming our regular hotels. We launched ALGV, the Lux by ALG Vacations product last year, where we have our luxury product outlined. And we've really seen that segment of our business increase over our normal traditional hotels. So that's a really great thing to see. And then just in, out talking to our advisors and being out in the marketplace, we know cruising is king again right now. We're seeing a lot of cruise trends, a lot of ships coming out, and a lot of excitement around that industry. So Just like advisors have to pivot, so do we. And we look at how we can assist for pre and post cruise bookings as well, because we're seeing advisors really latch onto that, doing it more independently so they can really customize and create a curated experience pre and post cruise for their clients.
Yeah, and I know this post-COVID travel boom, and I know we're 5 years post-COVID now, but it has gotten so many people out. It's gotten so many people traveling. There was a thought that people want to be traveled out. They don't seem to be traveled out from my point of view. They seem to be wanting different experiences, which you mentioned, like luxury, wellness, experiential travel, all seems to be trending from the advisors I speak to too. People seem to want personalized and unique experiences now.
I do. I mean, I was just in Budapest this year, and one of our favorite takeaways was our food tasting tour that we did throughout Budapest. We were in the food market, we tried different local cuisine and local libations as well, which makes it a little fun as you go along. And, those are the things that advise customers really bring away from their trips, really immersing themselves in the destination, tasting a little bit of that culture, and just adding all those little pieces on can really be a game changer.
Yeah, I spoke to someone. I spoke to someone earlier this week, and they were talking about those little pieces, those little moments that advisors can add. Seem to be a lot of why clients really fall in love with having that relationship. So I completely agree.
And
Um,
that's how advisors make themselves stand out. Don't forget the add-ons, the excursions, the little things that put it together as a whole package. I mean, sometimes if advisors are just booking the air in the hotel, well, by the way, speaking of air, let's include the air when you're booking a package. You want to bring the whole package to your customer. You want to make sure that you're staying relevant, that you are useful. And speaking of COVID, that was a perfect time period where advisors really showed their worth. Unfortunately, they weren't making a lot of money doing that, but that's where you step in and bring your value. When something goes wrong and you're able to step in and you've handled their air and you can make sure they get to their destination, it brings it all full circle for the value that an advisor has for a customer.
yeah, I completely agree. Handling, I know it's a pain, but it's also a pain for consumers, and sort of being able to relieve them of that pain point, I think, is really important. In
Right.
terms of educational tools or formats, I know we talked about how consumer preferences are changing, but how travel advisors want to learn seems to be changing pretty significantly too. What is trending for advisors looking for new or educational tools in order to grow their business as we dig deeper into the second half of 25?
On demand, it's kind of like Duolingo, right? I take it
Yeah.
when it's good for me, whether it's over coffee in the morning or late at night over a glass of wine. But it's on demand when I need it. It's short snippets. I can learn as long as I have the time to, and that may be 5 or 10 minutes, or it could be 20 to 30 minutes. So we're really seeing that. But industry webinars are very important as well. That's going to give you the most up to date hot topics and information to be able to take advantage of. But I think one of the most valuable things an advisor can do is to see. So take advantage of those fam trips that are out there so that you can see and touch and feel the destination and bring more, to the table when you're talking to your customers.
Yeah, what about ALG Vacations specifically? Like, how is ALGV supporting advisors who want to grow through education and expand their offerings? Like you mentioned, the new tools and the webinars, things like that. But what's specific to ALG Vacations?
Well, I will tell you, we've taken note of the segmented learning, and that's what we kind of built our ALGV Pro course around. It's on demand, it's cut up in little short segments. You can take it as you're able to. And, advisors are the most important piece of our business here at ALG Vacations. The vast majority, almost all of our business comes from travel advisors. So investing in education is where I think we really shine. So we have the ALGV Pro tool. We have an implementation training team that is dedicated to training advisors one-on-one and through webinars. So there's a lot of things that are there for them to take advantage of. So the training team can really also, I talked about taking learning again, that you think you know something and you're like, oh no, I know that already. But I promise if you take some training with our implementation team, you'll pick up a new skill, you'll pick up a shortcut or a tip that will help you be more efficient and close more bookings during the day. But I think, as I mentioned earlier, seeing is everything. And I don't know if you've heard about our ALGV Pros on the Goes, Mega Fams and Pros in Paradise. You're
I
nodding your
have,
head,
yeah,
so
I
yeah.
have. I know Ascend is the big event for ALGV, but I just hear more and more
Mhm.
about the mega fams too.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you do because I've been at all of them this summer and still more to come. So that means a good thing. But Ascend is definitely our showstopper. You know, Ascend is full of education, not just about ALGV, about destinations, hotels, but really about building and developing your core business skills. But our Pros on the Go fam, it brings a little bit of everything. So we have a day of learning. We have a day of seeing hotels and properties in destination. We have a day where you get to experience an excursion, which again, I talked about advisors bringing excursions into the package to bring value and knowledge to it. And experiencing that for yourself also helps you understand the destination better and makes you ready to sell the destination and the experience more than anything.
Yeah, well, Heather, I know how exciting it is with advisors learning about ALG vacations and sort of interacting with your team. I'm really excited to see what comes out the rest of the year. I assume you have a lot of announcements planned, so I'll keep an eye out for that. But thank you for your time. It's always sort of great to talk to you and get a hold of what's happening with ALG vacations.
Yeah, and you can find everything on algvacations.com. And if you're not sure of who your BDM is, because that is one of an advisor's best tools is our business development team, algvacations.com/BDM finder. And your BDMs are anxious and ready to talk to you and talk about growing your business.
All right, well, Heather, thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day.